Hey guys, welcome to Talking Money with Nozi, personal finance made simple. Today I'm filming in the car because the struggle for natural light is real. In this video, I'll be talking about how to choose exchange traded funds, or ETFs in short, to invest in. Let's get straight into it. What are exchange traded funds? In my previous video, I explained indexes and ETFs. You can watch the video over here or over here, somewhere. Let me just recap what exchange traded funds are. Exchange traded funds are funds that are bought and sold on the stock market. These funds are made up of a list or a group of many different companies. They can be tens or hundreds or even thousands of companies in one fund. When you buy an ETF, your money is automatically invested in the list of companies that make up that fund. How many ETFs are available on our stock market, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange? There are currently 79 ETFs on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. More will be listed as time goes on. ETFsa.co.za is a website that lists all the 79 ETFs that are on the JSE. These 79 ETFs are made or provided by 8 different fund managers, namely One Invest, Absa Capital, Ashburton, Cloud Atlas, CoreShares, FirstRand, Satrix, and Signia. If you want to buy any of these ETFs, you need to open an account with a stockbroker. For example, I buy my ETFs using a stockbroker called Easyequities. Out of the 79 ETFs that are available on our market, which one will you invest in? Before you decide which ETF or ETFs you should buy, you must set your financial goals. This is crucial, people. You should know why you are investing and for how long you plan on investing. This will guide your choice of ETF or ETFs to buy. Why are your financial goals and timelines so important? It is because ETFs fall under different asset classes, and these asset classes have different risks. Some asset classes are more risky and therefore suitable for longer investment periods. Other asset classes are less risky and are more suitable for shorter investment periods. This is why you need to know what you're investing for and how long. Let's have a look at the different asset classes, their level of risk, and how long you should invest in them. There are 4 main asset classes under which ETFs fall. These asset classes are shares or stocks or equities, same thing, property, bonds, and cash. Each asset class has a particular level of risk associated with it. The risk level is also an indicator of the potential return. Higher risk investments are suitable for the long term and have the potential of yielding higher returns, while lower risk investments are suitable for the short term and yield lower returns. Shares or stocks are very high risk and are suitable for an investment period of more than 5 years. On average, shares have given returns of between 13 to 15% before inflation, which is 7 to 9% after inflation. Property is also high risk and is also suitable for investing for more than 5 years. On average, property has given returns of between 8 to 10% before inflation, which is 2 to 4% after inflation. Bonds are medium to low risk and are suitable for an investment period of between 2 to 5 years. On average, bonds give returns between 7 to 9% before inflation, which is 1 to 3% after inflation. Cash is very low risk and is suitable for short-term investments of 0 to 5 years. On average, cash gives returns of between 6 to 8% or even less before inflation, which is 0 to 2% after inflation. Why do I keep mentioning inflation? It's because if you are investing over long periods of time, your money needs to keep up with or grow above inflation. Otherwise, you'll be getting poorer over time. In summary, these are the asset classes in order of decreasing risk. Number one, we've got equity or share or stock ETFs. These are high risk. These need you to invest for longer periods of time, anything above 5 years. Then we've got property ETFs. These are also high risk, which also need you to invest for longer periods, like more than 5 years. Then we've got bond or fixed income ETFs. These are medium to low risk, and you can afford to invest between 2 to 5 years. Then you've got your cash-based or money market ETFs. These are very low risk, and you can invest for any time less than 5 years. Now that you know your different financial goals and the time when you need your money back, and you also know that short-term goals equals bond or cash ETFs, and long-term goals equals equity or property ETFs, you can then start choosing your ETFs based on this information. For your long-term goals, you need your money to grow above inflation. This means that you should invest in equity ETFs or property ETFs. However, it is a very good idea to have a mixture of both. You can do a mixture of 50% equity ETFs and 50% property ETFs, for example. The choice is entirely yours. For your short-term goals, beating inflation is not your main focus. You are more concerned with lower risks because you need access to your money in a short space of time. This means that you should invest in bond, also known as fixed income ETFs, or cash-based, also known as money market ETFs. I want to offer a word of caution here. Cash and bond ETFs are not completely free of risk. Because they are bought and sold on the stock market, their prices fluctuate, meaning they go up and down. If you're not comfortable with this level of risk, you can save your cash in a bank savings account, or you can buy government bonds directly. Besides choosing whether you will invest in equity ETFs or property ETFs, cash ETFs or bond ETFs, you must decide whether you will buy South African or international ETFs or a mixture of both. This is how I allocate my money to my investments every month for my long-term goals. Guys, this is not a recommendation. So 75% of my money is invested in international equity ETFs and 25% into South African equity ETFs. Why do I do this? Well, I've got a pension fund at work, and our pensions work in this way. Most of our money is invested locally in South African assets. I would love international exposure, so my discretionary investments, which is the investments I do on my own on Easyequities, are the other way around. So 75% international, 25% local. That's how I do it. You might do it differently. Remember, this is personal. It is up to you. What is important? You should know your why. In the next slides, I am going to show you how to choose ETFs using an example of how I chose one of my international ETFs. You can use the Easyequities website called etfs.easyequities.co.za/finder. On this website, you can use filters to search for ETFs that suit your needs. I use the filters to look for ETFs that qualify for a tax-free savings account, are equity-based, are global, and are dividend-paying. Here is the website name again, as well as the filters that I chose. Under the general filter, I selected tax-free savings account. Under asset class, I chose equity. Under region, I chose global. Under dividends, I chose pays dividends. 7 ETFs fit the criteria of TFSA, equity, global, and dividend paying. So which of these 7 ETFs do you choose? Personally, I prefer ETFs that are made up of many companies from different countries. So to choose, you must click on Learn More to read about each ETF to find this information. You will notice that some ETFs are the same or very similar. For example, the Ashburton Global 1200 ETF is very similar to the Signia MSCI World ETF. So which ETF do you choose in this case? On the same ETF Finder website, you click on Compare ETFs. Then you select ETFs that you want to compare side by side. And then you scroll down to find the TER of each ETF, and you choose the ETF with the lowest TER. What is TER? TER stands for Total Expense Ratio and is a measure of the total costs associated with managing and operating an ETF. The lower the TER, the better for you.
That's it, guys. To summarize how you should choose your ETFs, let us recap. Number 1, you need to know your goals and how long it'll take you to achieve them. Number 2, understand that ETFs fall under the equity, property, bond, or cash asset classes, and these asset classes carry different risks. For your long-term goals, you will invest in either equity or property ETFs or a mixture of both, because these give higher returns over long periods of time. But they're not suitable for short term due to their high risk. For your shorter term goals, you can go for cash-based or bond ETFs. You can use tools like ETF Finder on the Easyequities website to help you choose ETFs. If you want to learn how to set financial goals and where to save or invest for your goals, you can contact me to buy one of my ebooks on personal finance or investing. My details are in the description below. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. Also, remember to subscribe so that you get a notification when I post a new video. Until next time, bye guys.